Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Tuesday, January 26th, 2010. Well, the bounce continues on Wall Street today, folks, as the Dow is up 81 points on the day, the Nasdaq is up 15, and the S&P 500 is up 6. Now, for those of you that are premium members within the Money Stocks in the Research Center or the chat room, you know that as of Friday's close, we went into a bullish 1 to 3 day bounce opportunity and took many long plays over the last 2 days. Sure enough, they are all hitting targets now between yesterday, today, and again into this afternoon. We are moving out of those positions, whether it be FSLR, which just hit my individual target of the 200 moving average here at a break of 117. That was a great play off of the 111.75 pickup that I picked it up at. And in addition, other trades, whether you're looking at stocks like ExxonMobil up 70 cents today, that was another call. JASO was a big call the other day, again on Friday, going long at 460 to 465 on the JA Solar. Target was a break of $5. Today it did breach $5. So there are just countless trades that were posted in the hot charts and alerts and on the Pro Trader watch list, all turning out to be fantastic plays here on the upside for this play. Now again, the question is, all right, well, we've had a 1 to 3 day bounce, no brainer there, as we had called for that on Friday. Where do we go from here, though? I mean, that's really the big question, right? Are we going to see more upside tomorrow? What are we going to see on Thursday, on Friday, and next week? Ultimately, that looks to be a very interesting and gray area in the markets. And again, we have individual projections on that, but that is for our premium Research Center subscribers. What I'm going to go through today is the SPY intraday, focus on the intraday, give you guys an idea of what the call on the intraday basis is. Now, couple things to go over. This is the intraday SPY chart. All the key trend lines. One thing I want to point out to you guys is you can see this trend line here, this slanted trend line. If you go back on the trend line, you can see it comes all the way back from the 19th high on the markets and all the way down through this pivot high yesterday. That actually was a beautiful pivot to note for a breakout, because once you broke out right here, look at the market just move up very nicely. Easy buying opportunity. In the other side of the coin, you can also take a look at this in spirit of bull flag pattern. For those of you that follow pattern price and time like we do, or are learning it from us, you guys can easily recognize that pattern. I went into depth in the chat room telling people over and over again, I said, guys, this is an in spirit of bull flag pattern right here. Look for this to break up. So you even knew it was a possibility of a breakup long before it took out this trend line. As you can see, sure enough, moving beautifully higher. Target was 110.50 on the SPY. Right now, we've hit 110.47. I even think there's a chance to go a little bit above 110.50 all the way up to this beige trend line right here at 110.65. 110.65 happens to be, and this is key, the pivot low right here from the 22nd, which was last Friday. That initial dump before we had that big bounce, that's that pivot. Also notice this little bear flag here consolidated right above that little area of support on the charts at 110.65. So again, 110.65 for the day looks to be where my target would be ultimately, although 110.50 looks to be good resistance. We already hit it right here and pulled back into this support line, now moving back up. All right, so again, very nice move to the upside the last 2 days. Market continues to inch up. We got some decent economic numbers on consumer confidence today as well, along with AFA home price index. Some good signs there that things are not as bad as the market might have anticipated based off the fall late last week. And sure enough, the market is floating up per the call. And that's the key, guys. I don't look to go short or long and just stay that way the whole time. In the money stocks is key because we read price pattern and time, and we'll take short-term moves, long-term moves, maneuver ourselves, and just like we did on Friday, I removed 2/3 of all my shorts off the table as of Friday's close. So again, having some FAZ, SRS, EDZ, 2/3 off the table Friday into the close as we expected to bounce. With that bounce, I gave the alert to our premium members to buy stocks like USO or ETFs like USO, stocks like FSLR, JASO, other ones like Cisco, you name it. There were so many stocks, ExxonMobil, coming into major support to go long and short. And again, we're not necessarily bulls or bears. We're just looking for the move to get on the right side of the market and just scalp the market, swing trade the market, and day trade the market left and right. And that's exactly what we've done here. And a beautiful little call for a bounce turns out to be a very profitable call for all the premium subscribers at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Now, looking at the resistance levels, I want to go to the 60-minute, give you guys a little bit of a broader sense of what this market is doing. One reason you're stalling here a little bit right at this 110.50 level, folks, is because you're hitting the 20 moving average on the SPY. Ultimately, I think it does get through that 20 moving average, though, and possibly moves up until this 110.65, 110.70 level right here. And again, that's the same level I pointed out on the 10-minute chart for you guys to watch. So watch very closely that level if we continue back up. you can see you could almost make a little bit of a case of a little bit of W pattern here. And again, let me just draw that in so you guys can see it. But you can make a little case for a W pattern here, absolutely. In fact, today's lows took out that low from Friday by a couple pennies, not by very much, but by a couple pennies, and that's often a sign as well of a solid W pattern. So what you may be starting to form here is a little sideways bullish consolidation in the V pattern, which would take us down slightly and then ultimately take us up at least to this 110.70, 110.65 level, ultimately maybe even higher on the 60-minute chart. So be aware of that pattern. I think, again, the pattern still tells us that there's a decent chance for a short-term bounce through tomorrow. And again, that was the key call in the money stocks, the 1 to 3 day bounce starting on Monday, and that's been exactly what we've gotten. And I think it could last until through tomorrow, as we have the Federal Reserve coming out with their FOMC policy statement tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and then President Obama will make his State of the Union tomorrow night. There's very little risk that they're going to dump the market before that State of the Union, or even the next morning. It's hard to imagine that they're going to see a gap down, a huge gap down in this market. So again, that was part of the reasoning here at In the Money Stocks. We look at the whole picture, not just a small portion of the picture, to find out these facets and these avenues to make sure that we're on the right side of the trades, whether it's long or short. Beautiful maneuvering here. All right, so that's the key call. Again, resistance on the 60-minute, this 110.65, 110.70 level. If you get through that, then you're going to go to the highs from Friday area at 111.45, 111.50. That would be an insane amount of resistance. And then following that, the 111.70 level. Right in this area, I would have to start to analyze to see whether or not I would like to take a short again on the market and start to look for a pullback off of that level if we go up there in the next day or so. So keep an eye on that range. In addition, if you do start to fall back down, you watch for a little pivot. Here's the Great Wall of China, a lower level right here. Great Wall of China, lower level. That's an important level. If we pull back into that, that could be the V shape as well. Although, again, I think it could be a very shallow V because the volume is so light. And, again, just overall slow float in this market. So keep an eye. Right now, it looks like you're starting to form a little bit of that V pattern that may take us back higher again. And that would be my projection right now, is to look for a move to the upside over the next day or so, 24 hours or so in this market. Now, let's go to a couple other key charts, guys. We'll talk about Exxon. What was the call on Exxon? Why did I tell my premium subscribers to go into a long mode here on ExxonMobil? Well, we're going to tell you exactly why right now. All right, now, again, what was the key call? What I want to do is scan all the way back here, folks. And again, right here, this is really what it was. See this little pivot area? Right here on the low of the August 19th. If you take that and draw it right across, it mirrors the low here on the 5th of October. And if you take that through, you can see we pierced it and gapped below it today, but it's still recovered, and you're having now a great day on Exxon. That was the buy alert right there on ExxonMobil. In addition, what about FSLR? What was so key about FSLR? How did I know it was going to bounce here? What was the call that went out that told people to be long on FSLR? Well, what you're going to do here is take it right from this pivot down here. I want you to draw a straight line across right from this pivot on the 2nd of September. And look at that. And look at the bounce today. And again, you can go check if a hot charts, or if you sign up for the Money Stocks Research Center, you get everything that's included underneath that Research Center for $49.99 a month. In addition, you can go see all these calls there. They're all labeled with timestamps, so you can see exactly how accurate we've been. And again, $5.50 bounce on FSLR today. What a beautiful bounce, really is. Other charts that were interesting to me, this chart right here, this was one of the biggest percentage gainers we called out. I gave this to all my premium subscribers, and the key was gap window right here and 200 right below. So the buy area was right here at around 455, 460, and look at the bounce all the way back above $5 today. Target again was $5, hit the target today. So I'm just giving you a sense of what I'm looking at on a technical basis to make these calls, because I want you guys, again, even though this is a free video, I want there to be a little bit of a learning curve in there as well for you guys to figure out what's going on here. In addition, I want you guys to see our talent. I want you guys to understand what we're going by. We're pure technical traders. We're looking at the technicals. We don't follow any of the nonsense Wall Street hype. That's how people get in trouble. Everyone on Friday was ready to jump out of a window, and here we are stepping up saying that the market's going to bounce, nailed the bounce, and there again is another great call by In the Money Stocks. Come join us. We see you in the Research Center. We'll see you in the chat room. Talk to you soon.